Montpellier Gardens, Cheltenham, owned and cared for by the Borough Council for both residents and visitors of the town to enjoy. In 1994, a community of local volunteers, the Friends of Montpellier Bandstand and Gardens, was established to help maintain and enhance this beautiful space. Retired sea captain Henry Skillicorn put Cheltenham on the map when he developed the first spa here in 1738. The town received the royal seal of approval when George III and his royal party came to stay for nearly 6 weeks in 1788 on the advice of his doctors. This made it one of the most popular watering places in Europe, and the rich and famous followed. Jane Austen, Lord Byron and Franz Liszt were among the many who visited the fashionable resort. More springs were discovered and tapped into, including one on this spot, which was built by wealthy banker Henry Thompson in 1809. Thompson had purchased the land in the south of the town and created the district known as Montpellier, named after the fashionable French resort. The wooden structure which served as his first spa room became so popular that 8 years later, in 1817, it was rebuilt in stone. Henry's son, Pearson, was now in charge of the project, and he hired acclaimed architect of the day, John Buonarroti Papworth, who added the large dome. The rotunda, based on the design of Rome's Pantheon. The building became much more than just somewhere to take the waters. It was the place to see and be seen, with a ballroom for dances and concerts, card and billiard rooms, a library and even a bank. Seasonal subscribers to the Wells also got to use the Montpellier pleasure grounds, laid out at the same time by the Thompsons on a large piece of land known as Trafalgar Field. The grounds were also open to the public for an entrance fee. Although those wistful days of the spa have long gone, Cheltenham is still very much a leisure town, and there are still many reminders of a time when the elite flocked to Cheltenham for the summer season to take the waters and to socialise. Some of the original spa buildings are still standing and are indeed listed buildings of great historic importance. The large villas that were once home to retirees from the colonies are now offices, flats or luxury homes for the town's ever-increasing population. Many of the parks and gardens laid out for the gentry, nobility and the upper middle class are still here, but are now open to the general public for everyone to enjoy. Henry Thompson's pleasure ground to accompany his spa in Montpellier, which, by the way, is now one of the town's fine dining restaurants, is still very much part of Cheltenham's fabric. Tree-lined drives were created around the edge of the garden, and by 1820 houses were being built on its north side, North Parade, now known as Montpellier Spa Road, and its south side, South Parade, today known as Montpellier Terrace. The People's Park, Montpellier Gardens, was purchased by the Cheltenham Borough Council along with the spa in 1893 for £7,400. Today, although some of the features from yesteryear may have disappeared, the gardens are still as beautiful as ever. The glass houses with exotic plants and the Chinese star pagoda have long since gone. The imperial fountain, which, according to tradition, was looted by Napoleon's army in Italy in 1800, captured by an English privateer and sold to a solicitor here in Cheltenham. The fountain, once fully working in the pleasure grounds, can still be seen today. It is situated just around the corner from the gardens at the end of the Broad Walk in Imperial Square. Trees play a major role in the makeup of the gardens, with its main feature the stunning tree-lined Broad Walk of lime trees leading to a rare statue of William IV. A self-guided tree walk leaflet is available to download from the Cheltenham Borough Council website. Discover the many varieties of trees in the Arboretum, including the North American sweet gum tree, the Japanese elm, the Oriental plane and the Wellingtonia, which can grow to be one of the largest trees in the world and can live up to 3,000 years. Introduced to Britain in 1853 and named after the Duke of Wellington, who I'm sure would have walked through these pleasure gardens on one of his several visits to the town to take the waters. There have been many public events held here at the gardens before and since the ownership of the Cheltenham Borough Council. During the early to mid-19th century, no fashionable event was complete in such places as Vauxhall Gardens, London, or indeed the Montpellier Pleasure Grounds in Cheltenham, without a hot air balloon ascent. Pioneers were pushing all of the boundaries in the experiment of flight, and indeed, from these gardens, on October the 3rd, 1838, aeronaut John Hampton launched his balloon, the Albion, and became the first Englishman to successfully land after jumping from his gas-filled balloon using a parachute. Today's entertainment is a little more down to earth and includes several festivals throughout the year, a fun fair, the summer fiesta, and entertainment from the park's centre point, the Victorian Bandstand. Built in 1864, it is said to be the oldest bandstand still in use in the country. It was lovingly restored by the Cheltenham Civic Society in 1994, and from this project, the Friends of Montpellier Bandstand and Gardens, FOMBAGS, was formed. When it was first constructed, the Spa's own band that once played under the shelter of the rotunda performed here every day during the season. Since then, it has been the venue for concerts of all types, including the annual Christmas Carol evening organised by FOMBAGS every December for the people of Cheltenham. This event raises hundreds of pounds for good causes, such as the Cheltenham Food Bank. In 2004, the town received Heritage Lottery funding of £722,000 for a major overhaul of the gardens, its buildings, paths, railings, seating and lighting. The Gardens Gallery is a very popular destination for art lovers. It was originally opened in 1900 as an outdoor theatre, the proscenium, for concerts and performances. Over the years it has been modified many times. It has been a theatre, a youth club, a gymnasium, and during the war years, even a storeroom for the Gloucester Aircraft Factory. Today, It is an exhibition space for Gloucestershire's artists, and it receives thousands of visitors every year. The gardens have not one but two cafes where you can enjoy food and drink inside or out. Coffee, tea, ice cream and snacks are available all year round. Sport has played a big part in the history of the gardens. Target archery was very popular amongst both men and women here in Montpellier Gardens. In 1855, national champion Horace Alfred Ford moved to the town and started the Cheltenham Archery Club. A year later, the national archery meeting was held here. Ford turned the pastime into an Olympic sport, and many members went on to become Olympic champions. The club moved from the gardens in 1934 when they were open to the public and archery became impractical. After more than 160 years, the Cheltenham Archers still exist and have their own home in a field near the racecourse. Lawn tennis was another popular sport played in the gardens in the Victorian period. You can still play tennis in the gardens today. It is now on hard courts. Courts can be booked online and coaching is also available. Another game popularised by the Victorians was croquet. This was also played in Montpellier, and once again the club still survives today and has its own ground in the south of Cheltenham, which, by the way, is one of the country's leading venues. There's fun for all ages at the gardens. The children's play area is situated next to the garden cafe, so the grown-ups can enjoy a coffee while keeping an eye on the kids. For the more energetic, there's a modern outdoor climbing structure. And if you're feeling really adventurous, then why not get on your skateboard and practice your flips at the Gardens skate park. There are lots of paths for walking and jogging and plenty of open space for team sports and dog walking. A well-maintained toilet block lies to the west side of the gardens. Since the Friends of Montpellier Bandstand and Gardens were established in 1994, they have played a significant role in the development of the Gardens Restoration Management Plan and have contributed many volunteer hours assisting the Cheltenham Borough Council to keep the gardens in tip-top condition for all to enjoy. They've helped and funded planting and tidying the garden borders, litter picking and general maintenance. They also put on events in the bandstand and gardens and have raised a substantial amount of money for local charities. As several of the members are local residents, they are also the eyes and ears of the gardens. New members are always welcome.